Hello, YouTube family. We're excited to start this live broadcast and just going over Proverbs and, seeing what the Lord has to say for us to give us wisdom to operate our daily life and our business. And so I'll be reading the scripture, and if anything comes to me as I read, I will share that with you. If not, we just keep on reading. And so we're excited to have you today. And this is the beginning of something great. We want to do it daily and just allow the Lord to bless us real good. And so, Proverbs 15, a soft answer turneth away wrath. So, if we can learn how to respond with a soft answer instead of out of anger or frustration, it just goes a long way, right? It'll turn away wrath. But grievous words stir up anger. And so if we find um, talking back and using harsh words, it just accelerates and elevates the tension that's in the already. So we have to learn and ask God to help us to really take it to another level and really monitor our words, and see and get that guidance on how to use it effectively, our words effectively. Right now, I'm in a season in my life that I'm evaluating all feelings, all thoughts, because we know that thoughts lead to feelings, and feelings lead to actions, and actions lead to results. And so, if we want different results, we have to monitor our thoughts, we have to monitor our feelings, and we have to monitor our actions. And not only monitor them, but we have to see where they come from, investigate and see where they're coming from. And so, yeah, that's it's very powerful and it's very challenging at the same time. Verse 2, it says, "The tongue of the wise uses knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness." And so if you want to be wise, you learn how to use your words, and you got to be very intentional in how you use your words. So that's very important. Verse number 3: "The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good." So you got to know that the Lord is always watching you, right? He's very concerned about you. He's very concerned God, and I love him for that. Just always just being there. He has your best interest at heart, and so it just makes life so much easier when you realize that the Lord of all, right, the one who spoke the worlds into existence, he is powerful and he loves you. So realize that he's always watching, right? And not to harm us, but to bring us good. How can he bless us today? That's how I look at it. He says, "For I know my thoughts towards you, thoughts of peace and not evil, that I may bring you to an expected end, a hope and a desire." So verse 4 says, "A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit." And so we can build up or we can tear down depending on how we use our words. So we need to use our words carefully. "A fool despises his father's instructions, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent." And so um, we have to be in a place where we can get criticized, and we can receive that and evaluate it. Sometimes, people say bad things to us and about us that are not valid, but sometimes they are valid. And so we just need to examine those things. The Bible talks about proving all things and holding fast to that which is good. And so we want to make sure that we're doing that. Let's try making sure my volume was up here. Hello, testing, 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 testing. Okay, testing, testing, 1, 2. My volume seems to be very low. Let's see here. Seems like I lost it. I'm not sure if y'all could hear me or not. That's not good. Okay. All right. So we have to listen to what the Father is saying to us, right? And what He's bringing in our presence, and evaluate it, and see if it's of Him or if it's of the enemy. And if it's of Him, we need to really take heed. And if He allowed the enemy to bring it, we need to see why, right? Prove all things and hold fast to that which is good. Uh, we're going to verse 6. In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but in the revenues of wicked is trouble. So if you if you're righteous, right, and He makes us righteous, He really does. And when you realize who you are and whose you are, and you realize that God has justified you and made you the righteousness of Himself, then you can really settle in and realize the treasure that He has invested in you in these earthen vessels, as the Bible talks about. And so verse 7 says, the lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the fool doeth not so. And so the wise, they realize that, hey, this is not mine. I mean, it's a gift to have wisdom. It's a gift to be able to understand and have knowledge. And so I want to share that gift, right? And so that's what I get out of that passage right there. The wise disperse knowledge. Verse 8, the sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but the prayer of the upright is His delight. So you can sacrifice all day long, and if your heart ain't right, God is not going to accept it. But if your heart is right, it's His delight. If you're upright at heart and in your prayers and you're sincere and you're meaning what you're saying, God says, I like that. I delight in that. And so our next verse is verse 9. The way of the wicked is an abomination unto the Lord, but he that loveth that but he loveth him that followeth after righteousness. And so you want God to be pleased with you. There has to be some attending to His word and listening for what He has to say, and reading. You got to read it. You got to read His word. We have to read His word. And so I'm looking forward to this daily walk through His word and see what He has to say to us on every day, because it's so needed. It's so needed. All right. So um, verse 10, correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die. And so, correction, we may not like it, but what it yields to us and what it gives to us, we know that He chastens those that He loves. He corrects those that He loves. And so when we are being corrected, we have to embrace that, not run away from it, right? But realize that it's for our good. It's working together for our good. It's for our benefit. And so verse 11 says, hell and destructions are before the Lord. Destruction is before the Lord. How much more than the hearts of the children of men? And so God is really looking at everything, and seeing everything. And so he knows what's in our heart. And so let's just, I heard a former pastor of mine used to say, come clean or stay way dirty. And you really just have to really come clean with God and let him know how you feel, because he knows anyway, right? And that's a beautiful thing, that we can just be transparent with the Lord, because we are transparent. He see right through us, right? And so we might as well be honest with him and approach him in the sense that I already know, so let me let you know that I know that and what I'm seeing, what I'm experiencing, how I'm feeling, and things of that nature. So just be real honest with the Lord about who you are, and how you need his help. Verse 12 says, a scorner loveth not one that reproveth him, neither will he go unto the wise. So if you can't take correction, then are you a scorner? Are you foolish? Are you not able to take correction? And so we have to evaluate ourselves. Why do we feel such a certain kind of way? And a lot of times it's the way of we've been brought up, right? Our conditioning, and so we have to evaluate that. One of my daily uh, declarations is that I need to learn, unlearn, and relearn. And so, in learning more about me, I need to unlearn some things. I need to unpack some things. I need to change some things. I need to reevaluate some things, and then relearn, put some things in its place that are more beneficial and that will take me to that next level, that place I desire to go. The next verse is verse 13. A merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance, but by sorrow of the heart the spirit is broken. And so we want to always have a cheerful countenance. And if we don't have a cheerful countenance, we need to evaluate that. What's going on with you? Right? Why are you disquieting me? Is what David said. Oh my soul, why are you disquieting me? You ask the Lord and say, God, what's going on with me? And ask yourself, talk to yourself. Say, why are you feeling this way? Um, the verse 14, the heart of him that hath understanding seeketh knowledge, but the mouth of fools free feedeth on foolishness. And so what are you seeking after? What are you going after? Are you going after wisdom, understanding, or are you chasing foolishness? See, these things we can evaluate ourselves. We can look at ourselves. We can look at our daily lives and really know what's going on. People always say, well, God knows my heart. Well, your heart too, because wherever your treasure is, that's where your heart is. And if we evaluate our time on a daily basis and see what we are doing with our time, which is our most valuable commodity, then we can see where our heart is, right? And we can know our heart. And guess what? We can adjust our heart. Because by changing what we do, right? What we focus on, what we what's important to us, what we value. All right. So verse 15, all the days of the afflicted are evil, but he that is of a merry heart hath a continual feast. And so God wants you to have a continual feast. He wants you to always be glad. See, if you are downtrodden, if you are discouraged, if you can't give God praise, then that's a problem right there. That means you're looking at the situation through the wrong lens, because he said that all things work together for our good, right? And he also said that we his thoughts towards us are pleasant and not evil, right? So God is always wanting to add value to our life. Jesus said that I came that you might have life and that you might have it more abundantly. And so we have to change our perspective. And when we're going through things, if we're not being able to give him praise, he spoke to me one time and he said, of course, his word says that in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. And but then he said, if you're not giving thanks, you're not in my will. And I was like, whoa, blown away by that, right? So we need to always give thanks so that we can always be in his will. All right. Let's move right along here. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Make sure you like and subscribe it if you are. I'll work on my lighting and camera, all that kind of stuff. I just wanted to do it. I wanted to get out here and get into it. And so you'll see some adjustments as we go. All right. So where we at, verse 16, better is a little with the fear of the Lord than great treasures and troubles therewith. See, some people think that we don't have, God don't want us to have great treasure. That's not what he's saying here. He's saying that if you have trouble with the treasure, it's not worth it. You can have a little without trouble, and that's a much better place, right? But he don't he the Bible talks about it, that it's God's good pleasure to give us the keys to the kingdom. Okay, whatever we bind on earth, he'll bind it in heaven. Whatever we loose on earth, he'll loosen in heaven. He gives us a power to get wealth. Okay, so all of those things, God is constantly showing us that he wants us to prosper and be in good health, even as our soul prospers. And so God always wants us to have the best. He said we're the head and not the tail, above only and not beneath. All right now. So, better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a stalled ox and hatred therewith. So you could have a lavish meal, and but if there's hatred there, if there's contentment there, and it's not good. It's not good for you. See, even your perspective, if you have a good perspective about approaching a situation, it lightens your countenance. It even sends endorphins through your body to help you. And if you don't, and you have apprehension, it sends negative pulses and energy through your body. And so how we approach situations, it either brightens our countenance or lowers our countenance. And it actually does our body harm when we don't have confidence in who the God that we serve, and what he has for us. All right, let's move on. I got another meeting right very soon. A wrathful man stirreth up strife, but he that is slow to anger appeases strife. Right? The way of the slothful man is the hedge of thorns, but the way of the righteous is made plain. A wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish man despises his mother. So even though our mothers may not have done the best job with us, but they still our mother, and we have to treat them as such, right? We have to respect their position, right? We don't have to allow them to do bad things to us, but we do have to respect their position, right? We need to pray for them that God will heal them if it's in a bad space. But we gotta honor that. We gotta honor that position that mother holds. All right. Folly is joy to him that is desolate of wisdom, but a man of understanding walketh uprightly. So if you're not walking uprightly, God says you don't have a good understanding. And that has been a challenge for me sometimes, right? In life. And so, but I want to walk uprightly. And so, let's go. Let's do this. Right? Because he's given us his spirit so that we can do it. It says, without counsel, purposes are disappointed, but in the multitude of counselors, they are established. And so we need to just ask help. We need to talk to people and say, hey, I need some help with this. This is what I got going on. And people that have made some accomplishments, right? That have that's further along than you are. You want to use that counsel. A man hath joy by the answer of his mouth. A word spoken in due season, how good it is. Verse 24. The way of life is above to the wise, and he that departed from hell beneath, that he may depart from hell beneath. And so, yeah, I'm always thinking above. I tell people, I'm not looking for a hole in the ground. I know this is a little bit different, but I'm looking for a hole in the sky. But that's just every day is a good day, right? Despite of my challenges and situations that I have to face, circumstances I have to face, it's still a good day because I have a opportunity to be a better man than I was the day before. The Lord will destroy the house of the proud, but he will establish the border of the widow. The thoughts of the wicked are abomination to the Lord, but the words of the pure are pleasant words. He that is greedy of gain troubleth his own house, but he that hateth gifts shall live. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer, studieth to answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things. Just take your time sometimes and say, Lord, how should I answer this? Think about it. Don't just say the first thing that comes to your head. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayer of the righteous. The light of the eyes rejoices the heart, and a good report maketh the bones fat. The ear that heareth the reproof of life abideth among the wise. He that refuses instruction despises his own soul, but he that hears reproof getteth understanding. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. And so hopefully you enjoyed this live stream, whatever time you watch it. Hopefully it'll add value to your life today. Um, Apply these principles as I'm endeavoring to apply these principles myself in my life and in my business so that I can go to that place that God has already prepared for me in this life. David said, I would have fainted except I believed to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Y'all be blessed. And I'm just Antoine, and I'll see you at the top. Bye for now.